So it is, Roles. Hello and welcome to Cthulhu Confidential, where I and my friend Magician are here recording a one-on-one tabletop game of Cthulhu Confidential. It's set in the Gumshoe system in 1930s Los Angeles, and I'm a gritty, hard-boiled detective. Anyways, to start with, we'll have some details about how this game works then.
Hi, I'm Magician, and I guess it's down to me to explain how it works. If you're familiar with the Gumshoe system, this is the newest variant of it, called Gumshoe 1-to-1, where there is only one GM and one player. If you're not, it should be fairly easy to pick up. I think it's just about perfect system for this kind of recording, because there's no hidden things, there's no references you need to find in rulebooks. It's all right there on the screen.
So the Gumshoe system is designed as an investigation system, the way I understand it. And please correct me if I'm wrong. What that means is I've got these skills. I'm hitting all. There we are. I've got these skills, and I've got both general and investigative abilities. And so what I see here is that investigative abilities always work. And that's Gumshoe's thing, that there's no roll of the dice to miss the crucial clue of whodunit.
Correct. So I thought I would simply read out the rules reference, because it is absolutely the best way of summarizing it, and it explains how the investigative and general abilities work.
Okay?
So, this is just a pure quote of the rulebook. Your character attempts actions in a storyline by using abilities. Abilities come in two main types: investigative and general. Investigative abilities allow you to gather information. The animating principle behind Gumshoe states that failing to get key information is never interesting.
Oh, they said that. Okay.
Of course I did. If you have the right ability and you look at the right place for clues you need to solve the mystery, you will always find the information you seek. If you lack the relevant ability, your character can talk to a friendly source who will also provide guidance and assurances as needed. A piece of information need not be critical to the case for you to gain it without chance of failure and at no cost. Much of mystery solving lies in sorting the important from the tangential. If only the crucial clues came for free, it would give the game away. In some situations, you can spend a resource called a push to gain an additional benefit. This might be information you don't absolutely need to solve the case. More often, it consists of advantages that clear the character's path through the story, such as favors from witnesses, knowledge that keeps the character safe, or prior relationships to central figures. You start the game with 4 pushes and can gain others during play. General abilities, on the other hand, determine whether you succeed or fail when trying to take actions other than gathering information, usually in an event called a test. The most important kind of a test is the challenge. You have either 1 or 2 dice in each general ability your character possesses. The game uses standard 6-sided dice, which roleplayers sometimes refer to as d6s. Whenever it might be interesting for you to fail, as it would be to succeed, say fighting a thug, running away from a creature, or trying to repair your car before you die in the desert, you roll your die or dice. When rolling multiple dice, roll 1 at a time. You may succeed without having to roll all of them. At the end of the challenge, your die roll total may match or exceed that of an advance, the best result, or a hold, an okay or middling result. If not, your outcome is a setback, which means that something bad happens. On an advance, you will probably gain an edge, an advantage you can use later in the scenario. As a reminder, you gain an edge card. The card's text will tell you how it works. Often, you must discard the card to gain the advantage. If you reach the advanced threshold without rolling all of the dice you were entitled to, you also gain a push.
Okay, so it goes advance without all dice. Advance, hold, setback.
Yep.
Okay.
So on a setback, you often gain a problem, representing a dilemma that might cause trouble for you later. Again, you receive a card to remember it by, a problem card. Certain cards might lead to a terrible end for your detective should you fail to get rid of, or counter them, before the scenario concludes.
Yeah.
Indeed. Most challenges allow you to voluntarily take on an extra problem in exchange for rolling one more die. Every so often, you'll make a simple roll called a quick test to see if you succeed or fail without the possibility of advances, edges, setbacks, or problems. The rest is detail.
A single die?
Simple roll.
Simple roll. Okay.
Rest is detail. You don't have to learn any special rules for combat or mental distress as you would in Stand Gumshoe and most other role-playing games. The challenge system, with its descriptions of outcomes and its resulting edges and problems, handles it all.
So this is Cthulhu, and I don't need to learn rules for going insane.
No.
I start insane?
You start slightly damaged.
So, yes. But...
yes. If you're familiar with other Gumshoe systems, you will notice that there are no rules for health or insanity, as Dinumis here points out. That's because it's not actually fun in a one-to-one game to lose your character to a stray bullet halfway through the scenario. Unless we both agree that no, really, the character should die now, you will make it to the end, bleeding and suffering, but you will make it. Similarly, unlike in other Gumshoe systems, there is no need to manage the spotlight of the characters, so you do not spend investigative resources to find clues. You just know the stuff that you know.
Okay.
Finally, I would like to, again, quote a bit of advice given to new detectives on how to solve a case.
Nope. Okay, so note card. Why are the note? Can I rotate? Help. Okay. Hopefully that allows me to take note cards out of the bag.
You are very hopeful about that.
Yeah, I am. Okay, so what is this called? You're giving me
how to solve a case.
How to solve a case. A cheat card.
Okay. Do you want just the bullet points or the whole page of advice?
Give me the bullet point and then unpack.
Number one, talk to people.
Talk. What?
Shocking,
What do you mean?
I know.
I have to talk to people? But okay. And now unpack that?
So in the hard-boiled genre, you may now and then find an important physical clue. A telltale matchbook cover, a burnt photograph, a sculpture with a camera hidden in it. But 9 times out of 10, the real dope comes from facts you gather from the denizens of the noir world. Crooks, cops, nightclub singers, and law-breaking businessmen. Approach them directly and find the angle that would get them talking.
So, a really important question there. You say facts. I'm talking to scumbags. Do my investigative abilities allow me to distinguish between what they say and what is true, or just...
If you were to look at your character sheet,
No.
you will find that one of the skills you have is assess honesty. That means you can tell when someone is lying. Usually you can spend a push on assessed honesty to see exactly what they're lying about, rather than a general sense of there being a dodgy bastard.
Okay. So just talk to people?
That's point number 1.
Oh.
Point number 2, talk in person. Quick phone calls can get you information from individuals uninvolved in the case. Clerks, librarians...
Just a second, I have to scooch this up because it...
You can increase the size of a thing, you know, right?
No, I don't.
Press plus on the thing. Let me see if I can... Oh, there you go. You managed.
No. I'm trying to edit... Okay. So, interesting note. This text field is cropped by the bottom of the screen as its position. So I have to...
Oh, fuck.
Okay.
Interface.
Talk in person.
Yep.
Okay.
But someone might be when someone might be a suspect, you won't get the real dirt until you look them in the eye. Also, they won't have a chance to have you beat up for asking stupid questions.
I don't have people for that, do I?
No, you don't. They do.
Can I be a crook instead?
So this brings us to the third point.
Oh.
Talk to scary people.
Okay. Let me just be very clear here. This says how to solve a case, not how to commit suicide by gangster.
This is
We're
a
being-
hard-boiled noir Lovecraftian mystery.
So, How to Solve a Case is How to Commit Suicide by Gangster and Fail.
Potentially. There are in fact multiple ways to do that in the first scenario that we will be playing soon.
Which one? Solve a Case or Suicide by Gangster?
Also said by gangster. No, literally.
Full marks. Okay, so talk to Scary. Do you know BB code off the top of your head? Because apparently it supports this but not Markdown. How do I bold stuff?
I do not know.
I suspect it's going to be scary people.
Right. Finding out who did bad things means talking to bad people in person.
No.
Yes, it's a risk.
No.
But you know how to handle yourself.
I do?
If you get knocked around a little, well, that's what you might call an occupational hazard. So it's not that you're a good fighter, it's that you can take a beating and keep walking.
Okay. So I'm known for my non-extant brains rather than my non-extant brawn.
Point number 4.
Yep.
Choose cover stories wisely.
Oh, I can lie too?
Absolutely. When talking to possibly scary people, you may find it expedient to approach them under false pretenses.
Inconceivable!
Make sure, though, that the ruse you adopt doesn't stop you from asking your real questions. Be prepared to come clean and set your story aside if that's the only way to get at the truth.
Get punched, you mean?
That might be the price you have to pay.
Okay.
And finally, the last point is never assume coincidence.
Never assume. Never assume.
Some elements of a case turn out to mean nothing, but you can't tell which ones until you turn over every rock. When you uncover anything outlandish, unusual, or unexpected, chances are it connects somehow. Never assume that something is unrelated. Prove it by investigating.
Let's see if this works. Alt. Fine.
Well, it mostly worked.
It worked well enough. Now, let's just talk about some interface stuff. Here are notes to self. This background picture is from the LAPL photo collections from 1931. Please don't sue me. How do I draw yarn between these?
I'm hoping that you can use the line tool on the left side there.
Line?
Yep.
Okay, so blip.
Did you do a thing?
I did a thing.
Is there a thing?
Nope. Help. Also, my player color is white. Can you make my player color not be white?
You can do that yourself by clicking change color.
How? Where's
I'll
change
make
color?
you...
Ah!
No, you don't want to be green.
Well, no, I do want to be green. I just want to be green on the other side of the table.
You know what? You'll be red.
Oh. But I like my blood.
Interestingly, the drawing doesn't actually work. Vector paint. There you go.
Yeah, but no, the thing is that's not sticky.
I don't know if it will be sticky.
Okay, that's fine. Just playing around with the interface. So,
Yep.
notes to self. Investigative abilities always work, but work more when I push them.
I will...
I'm
At
just...
least to start
Yeah.
with, I will offer the opportunity to spend a push. And speaking of spending a push, you really should have something to signify pushes.
General tests are risky, and I use N dice, where N is usually 1 or 2.
Yep, I will...
Yeah, but I just want to advance without all dice is better than advancing, which is better than being better than a hold, which is better than a setback. Now, oh, you're going to want to mute your system.
I will.
We're both over the same table, so let us know how this recording thing is in the 10 episodes or so we record today. And a quick test is a simple roll.
Correct.
Okay. And so, how to solve a case. I need to talk to person. I need to talk to people in person with a cover story if they're scary. and I should never ever assume coincidence.
Correct.
Okay. So I'm going to try using this instead of my database because I'm going to try to stay in character. We'll see how that goes. You all know me in my databases, so I don't expect this to last. Decals. What do I get for decals? Who knows?
Just close them.
Alrighty then. Cool. So that's the system. Tell me about. So I should read out my story.
By all means.
I am Dexter Raymond. Call me Dex. Oh no, this accent.
Speaking of accents, I am not going to attempt one because I figure that my mixture of Australian and Russian accents will be confusing enough to anyone.
Yeah. Archetypal, hard-boiled, private investigator, Dex Raymond prowls Los Angeles' haunted streets as an outsider by choice, and apparently a southerner. With his smarts and grit, he could have wormed his way into the corrupt power structure. Instead, he operates on its fringes, righting wrongs for a modest fee plus expenses. In addition to his contacts, he counts one more key friend, LAPD Detective Sergeant Ted Gargan, a rare, honest man in a town where cops can be bought by the barrel. I'm hard-boiled, all right? So I'm a hard-boiled Seamus Raymond. Let's see here. I've got athletics, sense trouble, shadowing. Stability, I assume, is mental health?
So stability and cool are two abilities you use to when you're confronted with
stability and cool.
Challenges.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. So the best way I can summarize them is cool is something you roll to not do something you wish to do, to resist temptation.
Okay.
Whereas stability you roll to do something you don't wish to do, like confront a murderer or...
So this actually raises an important point. I know in a number of systems there are boons for doing narratively good but character unwise things, like falling to temptation. Is that in this system?
That is the perfect time to ask this question. If you are to stop looking in great detail at a character, you will notice I placed 4 cards in front of you.
Inconceivable.
You start by picking your problem.
What killed the cat? Continuity.
Continuity is a keyword. The cards are not as fancy as the ones in the book. I had to cobble them together. Continuity means it will not go away at the end of the scenario.
Oh.
You might be able to deal with it.
Even when you shouldn't look or have no reason to want to know something, you can't not look. Can't stop probing. You worry problems like a terrier worries a rat. Can I take multiple of these? Because this just seems to be a normal...
They're all fitting
Okay.
the
So
genre.
yes. Lonely. You should have gotten over her by now. She's gone and gone for good. It's time you moved on. Found someone new. Maybe someone who won't play you for a sap this time. Oh hell, who are you kidding? Broke. Can I take 3?
I mean, I'm not going to stop you.
Alright, so broke. Continuity. Nobody could ever accuse you of loving money. You wouldn't be an honest private eye if that were the case. But a man needs to eat and keep his lights on. And you're on the verge of being evicted from both your apartment and your office. Vicehound. Continuity. Gambling. Whores. The opium pipe. You've kicked all those vices before. Okay. This one can go away.
Okay.
Right. If I'm a hard-boiled detective, I am a curious, lonely, and broke hard-boiled detective. Because...
Oh, this is going to go remarkably well, isn't it?
These are my characters? Like... Do I get anything for...
No?
I can just be stupid if I choose to be stupid.
Absolutely.
Yep.
So you may have noticed that none of these cards have an effect on them. They don't affect your stats in any way. That's not always the case. Many of the problems do give you a penalty or make it impossible to use pushes on certain kinds of abilities until you get rid of that problem. But instead, these cards act as prompts for me to push you that much harder when appropriate situation arises.
So, now, since we have this really cool map, where is my office?
You ask interesting questions.
Because I'm pretty sure I can search for office.
Dingy Bunker Hill office.
Great. Where is it on the map?
Bunker Hill.
Well, here's Hill.
It's Hill Street.
Yes.
We are not going to be using the map as such, I think.
So the map is just color.
It is just color.
It is beige.
Everything is beige.
Everything is beige.
Beige is
Beige
the color of Cthulhu.
on brown. Beige is the color of Cthulhu? Inconceivable. Okay, so I've got my vices, almost all of them.
Yep, you don't actually have vices as your vice.
I have my problems, dude.
Yes.
I have problems.
There's also the cards in the game.
I have my character. Got all the investigative abilities. Good. Got note cards. We've got, what are these?
These will be pushes. So this is the currency you can spend.
Okay, I'm going to put this... Okay, is there any way that we can make these not beige coins? Because beige on beige on beige on beige
Fair enough.
is a bit much. But we'll do that outside of camera. So this episode's gone on for long enough. We've gone over investigative abilities. We've gone over general abilities. We've gone over my character. We've gone over my character's problems. Lots of them. We've gone over my character's benefits. None of them.
Join us next time when a dame walks into the office.
Well, it tasted others. And I think on this one I'm going to say, all shall be well, and all manner of thing shall be well. Bye-bye.